Hello and welcome. I'm Rebecca K. Crochet. I'm Becky. That's what I go by. I am your yarn host for today, and we are going to do Scrappy Saturday, where I take my scrap yarn and I teach you a new project or something that you can do, or show you the projects that I'm working on with my scrap yarns. Right now I am working on this project. It's in my bucket here. I'm working on this project, which is a moss stitch scrap afghan. It is really long. I am holding two yarns together. As you can see right there, you can tell that those are two yarns, and I'm trying to do a light and a dark. And this is one of my cakes that's fallen apart, and this is another cake attached that's falling apart because I'm in the process of using out of the middle. And another project I have on the go is this one, which is a modern granny rectangle or square. I've done this as a rectangle. That's the back. Hold on. I've done this as a rectangle, and this is with just one strand of yarn, mostly camouflage and grays. And this is the cake I'm using out of for that one. I cake my scraps up, and I use them for projects. So what I want to do today is tell you a little bit about myself. I've been crocheting for 47 years. Off and on. I had two kids and kind of stopped crocheting a little bit during that time, but then I picked it right back up whenever they got really heavy, whenever they got into high school. Have two boys, and they used to challenge me. Mom, can you do this? Mom, can you do that? Of course, challenge accepted, right? So I would crochet whatever they would ask me to do. I would crochet it. It was usually some kind of really funny hat or something that they could wear to school. And I started the bearded hats. And my hats looked like real beards. I used the fun fur, and I sold those on Etsy for about 4 or 5 years. Went on the craft circuit, decided the craft circuit wasn't for me, and then I decided that I would just stay home and crochet. And so that's what I did. Crochet is my happy place. Crochet is what makes me happy, what relaxes me. I do have autoimmune problems, so that in itself, you know, sometimes I can't be out in the public and I can't do the things that I want to do because of my problems that I have, because I'm sick, or I don't feel good that day, and I have rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, and it's okay. You know, it is what it is. And right now I'm good. I'm golden. It's coming into summer and we're gonna go with it. My plans for this channel is I want to teach beginners all the way through advanced. I want to design, which I have designs on the hook right now that I will be teaching you guys. I'm not going to show those. I've learned from other YouTubers, don't show those. You can talk about them, but don't show them. I'm almost done with one. I've got 3 that I need to write patterns for. And so that'll be my 4th one. Well, I have other designs that I've done myself, but not the ones I want to show on YouTube. And then, so on Saturday, I want to do like a Scrappy Saturday where we just use scrap yarn for different projects around the house. A lot of it's going to be bigger projects because I have so much scrap yarn from selling on Etsy and from not utilizing all of my scraps in hats or whatever. And we'll make some really fun things with the scrap yarn. If you guys have a project that you're wanting me to try to design for you, just drop me an email, put it in the comments below. If this is something that you're looking forward, you know, that you think that you might like, then just like and subscribe so you don't miss anything. On Sunday, I'm going to do like a stitch tutorial Sunday where I show different stitches. On Monday, I have different things that I want to do, but I want to show you what I've been working on Monday, my Makes Monday. On Monday, yeah, I want to show you what I'm working on, what I'm making for the week, what the progress on my makes are. So you'll see more of my face. On Tuesday, I want to do a square of the week where we take the stitch that I showed on Sunday, and Tuesday we work up either a washcloth or a square of the week, so that whenever we're done with the stitches that we're practicing, and some of them will be complicated, some of them will be beginner, and I will let you know, and it'll be probably in the title, that those squares will make a blanket. In the square of the week, I may do 2 squares where I have a beginner square that a beginner can do, and then a more advanced square, so that you can mix and match the different patterns in a blanket by the end of the time that, you know, however big your blanket is. If you want it to be a 12 by 12, you want it to be a 12 by 24, you know, just however long and big that you want it. You can use any yarn with that. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do washcloths because I have a lot of cotton yarn that I need to use up. Thursday, it's just going to be whatever I want to do, like shopping hauls, just a blog for the day, a blanket or a cardi project that I'm working on. I'm designing a cardigan right now, a summertime cardigan, real lacy, airy. And I may show my design process, how I try to figure out and how you can design your own projects also. That being said, let's get down to the table, and I will show you how I am working on this granny square. I will show you how to work on a granny square, modern granny square, I should say. Okay, so what we're going to start with, this is a Tunisian crochet hook that I just got. I love these hooks. This one is I believe it's a 6.5. Can you see that? I don't know why it's not focusing. That's a 6.5. So what we need to do is we need to do our slip knot. So I wrap it around twice, poke it through, hold on with this hand, I hold on to that other thread and I pull tight. That's how I create my slip knots. You can do it however you need to. And we're going to chain, if we're doing a granny square, we're going to chain 3 or 4. Let me back up, let me show you how to chain. I'm going to do a video on how to chain, but to chain, you wrap your yarn over and pull through, and that's a chain. That's your first chain. Then you wrap your yarn over and you pull through again. Wrap your yarn over, pull through. So now you have 3 chains. The one on your hook does not count. So this does not count as a chain. But these 3 V's right here, this V and this V and this V, that's your chain. And then the 4th one, then you go back into the very first stitch that we made, which is right here. You can tell because it's got the tail on it. You go through that first loop, you wrap over and you go through, and this is a slip stitch because we're going to go through that first loop and we're going to go through that loop right there. And that creates a circle that we're going to work into. So then we chain 3, And then we're going to put our tail down here and crochet over our tail. You're going to wrap your yarn around. You're going to go into that hole that you created, that circle. You're going to wrap it around, bring it up, wrap it around, bring it through 2, wrap it around, bring it through 2. That is your first double crochet. This chain does count as a double crochet also. Then we're going to wrap it around our hook, go through that hole again, holding our yarn right there. You don't have to, but I do. Wrap it around, bring it through, wrap it around, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2. Now you have 3 double crochets on your hook. We're going to chain 1. Some people chain 2. I only chain 1. I don't like big holes. Wrap it around, go through, wrap it around, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. Wrap it around, bring it through, wrap it around, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, and go through 2. So now we have 3 on our hook. We're going to chain 1, wrap it around, go through, wrap it around, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2. And you see what I just did? I wasn't paying attention. I have 1, 2, 3 here. In a chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. So now I have 1, 2, 3. We need 4 chain 1 spaces, or 4 clusters of double crochets, 3 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, there's our third one. Get that tail out of the way. Now here we're going to chain 1, and what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's the top of the first stitch, and we're going to wrap it. We're going to go through that. Let me back up. You got 1, 2, 3. That's the top of the stitch. So we are going to go through these 2. We're going to wrap it around and pull it tight. And so now we have what looks like a circle, but you'll see here in a second that where it goes. Now we're going to turn our work. We're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to go right back into this right here. We've got to create our corner. So we're going to wrap it. We're going to go chain 1, 2 to bring it up. We're going to do 2 more double crochets. And we're not going to chain anything. And we're going to go to this next one over here. We're going to go over to this next chain 1 space right here. And I feel for my chain 1 spaces, but you'll feel there's a gap there. You're going to go in and you're going to do 3 double crochets. This will lay flat here in just a second. And then we're going to chain 2, or you can chain 1, you can continue to chain 1 and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2. Now remember, double crochet is wrap it around, go through the hole, wrap it around, bring up a loop, go through 2, and go through 2. So here we have 2 clusters with a chain 2 space in between. We're going to do the next thing, the same thing in the next stitch. We're going to wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2, chain 2, wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2, wrap it around, do the same thing. We have 3 clusters, chain 2, 3 clusters. We're forming corners. See how this is rounded and this is forming corners? This is going to make our blanket corners. So here we're going to go again. We're going to find that next stitch. We're going to wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2, wrap it around, go through 2, go through 2. We just continue on. Chain 2 because we're at our 3rd double crochet, and do the same thing again. 3 more double crochets. There's 1. If you have trouble following this, just back it up. You can slow it down. You can do it however you want to. Now we're going to chain 2 and we're coming up to our other corner. So in this one, we've already got 1 cluster of 3. We need to do 3 more clusters. 1, not 3 more clusters, 3 more double crochets. 2, 3. Then we're going to chain, no, we're not going to chain here. We're going to go into the head of that stitch, the top of that stitch right there, and we're going to half double crochet. And how you half double crochet is you wrap it around, you go through your stitch, wrap it around, and you have 3 on your hook. You're going to wrap it around and pull through all 3. And what that does is that keeps you sort of in the middle of this stitch, and it gives you a nice finish for this. Then what you can do is you can pull this tight. Now I like to take this yarn and go back this way and stitch it back in this way, and then I'll come back and stitch it back in this way after I pull it tight, because I have had blankets come apart right here from not doing that, or using the magic loop and just kind of working it in. That's why I don't prefer the magic loop anymore. It does come undone if you have wear and tear on your blanket. So now what I need you to do is we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and right there in that hole, we're going to do the same thing. This is Modern Granny. We are not going to do the same thing. We are going to, Modern Granny is usually 1 single crochet. This is where it changes up. And then we're going to chain 3 to skip over those stitches. And in this stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. Now, that is a true Modern Granny. In this blanket, and you see how those are standing out? Those dark ones are standing out. And here you can tell that they're different. They are not this. And I was going to change colors here, so let me change colors right quick. How you change your colors? I was going to show you how to change colors, and how you do that is whenever you get here and you need to change colors, you yarn over, go through your stitch, yarn over, and before you pull through, you drop that other color, bring your new color in, and you pull through. And then you pull this down tight, and you find your working yarn, and you work over this for a little ways. But we're going to turn, and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. And so I will bring this up and work over this going this way. And so we have turned our work, and we are going to go back down into that and do a single crochet. On this one, like I said, I did 2 single crochets because I want that to stand out, that stitch to stand out. Chain 2 because I don't like the big holes, and 2 single crochets. That's how I did this one. And the holes are smaller than if I would have done 3 single crochets. 3 chain stitches. These holes are smaller. And I'm sorry, I don't like sticking my toes through a blanket, so I like the smaller holes. And that's why I do it. So then I chain 2. I go over here to the corner. I chain, or I do a single crochet 2, chain 2, 2 single crochets in the same stitch that we just worked in. And see how that corner was just formed? It makes a peak. Then I chain 2 and 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Then I chain 2. And a single crochet is just go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. I'll do that again for you. Then we chain 2, go in and do your single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochets in this middle stitch, chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets, chain 2, and 2 single crochets in the same stitch to create our corner. Chain 2, in this middle stitch right here, we're going to do 2 single crochets, chain 2, and I'm going to put this up here. This is the yarn that we had to begin with. This was our working yarn, and I'm going to bring it up and over to the side because we're getting ready to change colors again, and this is how I like to change colors. We're going to chain 2, and because we're chaining 2 in the corners, we're going to do a half double crochet into that first single crochet. But see where my yarn is to change colors? I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to pull this tight so it hides that. I'm going to drop that color, and this way you can keep your colors going. You don't have to all those ends to weave in, and pull through, pull that snug, and then I'm going to chain 1, turn, and there's your half double crochet that you're going to work into. And I'm going to chain 2 more, and then I'm going to go right back in there and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, this one counts as a double crochet, 2, 3. Now on this row, what we are going to do is we are going to skip our single crochets, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space. So it's 1, 2, 3, no chains, and we're going to go into this chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, no chains, and we're going to go into the corner. Now when we go into the corner, we're going to do our clusters just like down here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to skip over, no chains, and we're going to just do 3 double crochets into the next. And this is actually creating the granny square. And whenever you do this, the granny square, this one will be a square, so this is just a different take on a granny square. Now we're at the corner again. I'll do another corner with you. It's 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 double crochets. And you go right back into that one, and we finish off the same way that we started. And these are just 3. The granny square or the granny cluster is 3 double crochets into any stitch. That's considered a granny cluster. And that's what a lot of blankets are made out of. A lot of squares are the granny squares. 1. We're at our corner, so we do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. Now, if I'm going too fast, just slow this down. I'm actually going super slow for me, so go back into that chain space. We're almost at the end. I can feel it with my hand on the, I can feel the difference in the stitches. I crochet without looking at my stuff a lot because I've been doing it for so long. And I crochet by feel a lot. This is one that I can just do. Okay, so here we're coming up to the end. There's my tail. And I will take this tail and I will weave it back in this way. And then I like to weave my tails in three different times. So we're going to do the 3 double crochets in this stitch right here where this one was. But I'm going to work over the working yarn to bring it up so that we can do like we did the last time. 1, 2. A lot of people don't do it this way. I just don't like weaving in ends. 3. Now, we're going to do our half double crochet into this top stitch right here. Right there. So we're going to change colors in the process. So this has got to be up here. And we're going to go to half double crochet. That's a yarn over. Go under. Pull through. Now see, we placed our yarn right there where we could drop this one. And since that one was placed whenever we were doing our crochet, whenever we were making this stitch and we placed it right there, we can yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That's the half double crochet. Tighten this down a little bit. We're going to chain through 1, turn our work, and see, that's not really going to be that noticeable when we come back across. See how this one's not real noticeable right there if you lay it down? You don't really see where we picked this one, laid this one down and picked it up. And we won't really see where this one is because we're going to be working on the top of these chains. We're just going to single crochet twice into that same stitch. We're going to chain 2, 2 single crochets, or 1 if that's what you prefer. Chain 2. If you're doing 1, you need to chain 3. 2 single crochets. I just like to have that stitch just more defined than 1 does. Chain 2, 2 single crochets. Every round we are building and having more. Chain 2, more. See, on this one we only had one space that we worked into, and that made our corner. Then when we did our corner, we had 1 in the middle. Now we did our corners over here. Well, over here we'll do our corner, but we do our corners here, and we have these 3 to work into. So each one we're going to be going out by 2 stitches each round that we do. 2 stitches each side. So then we're going to single crochet. 1, 2. We're going to chain 2, 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Chain 2, 2 single crochets. 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 Chain 2, 2 single crochets in the same stitch to create our corner. Chain 2, 2 single crochets. Chain 2, and we go all the way around like that. And then whenever you go to finish off when you go to finish this off, you just cut your yarn, and I will show you how to finish that off later. But you just cut your yarn and you weave in your ends. And that's how you do it. This is a single. Now this one, instead of doing the single, how I did this one was I chained, and then I came back on the end. I chained this way. I came back on the end, and whenever I decided to go in to my deal, I did the double crochets into the chain spaces all the way around. I created my corner over here and then went back around this way. And I'll show you how to do this one later on. But that's it for Scrappy Saturday. So if you guys would give me a thumbs up and a like and comment and tell me whatever you want to learn, I will be more than happy to teach you. And y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.